Hello, Bruce with PondSupply.com. Hey, I want to talk to you today about cleaning your pond filters. You know, fall is the best time to clean your pond filter because if you kill any of the bacteria, the bacteria is pretty much going to die anyway during the winter, so you're really not, in bad shape. In fact, if you're up north, anywhere where it gets really cold, you probably want to turn your filter off during the winter anyway, because they have a tendency to freeze up and, overflow and empty your pond. Bad times all around. I've had that happen before. But the problem is, of course, most of us wait until spring for the traditional spring cleaning. It doesn't matter when you do it, but whenever you clean the filters, there's a few things you need to be aware of. Now, first of all, your filters work for you a couple different ways. Number one, they strain out solids. Typically, your filter is going to end up just being a mucky, nasty mess. And so it's basically a mechanical filter, but it's also a biological filter because the beneficial bacteria tends to grow inside the filter media. It just becomes more surface area for the bacteria. So what I recommend, if at all possible, is to clean your pond, clean your pond filter with pond water. A lot of us have those little 1,200 gallon per hour pumps, and they're not the greatest pond pump because they tend to die and they leak, oil, or at least the older models did, into your pond. But as just a pond filter cleaner, they're fantastic. You use them to pump out your pond, so don't put it at the very bottom when you want to use it to clean your filter. Just kind of, midway, even towards the top, layer the cleaner water. You don't want to stir anything up. And then lay your filter pads out and use that 1,200 gallon per hour pond water to clean your filter. It's not going to make it crystal clear. It's not going to get everything out, but you can get the majority of all the debris out without killing, any of the bacteria in your pond filter, and that's worth it. Now, later in the season, if you're doing a fall cleaning, you may want to use a high pressure sprayer, a power washer. I've always used those on mine. If you don't have a power washer, you don't need to go out and spend a lot of money on one. Just take your filters down to, next time you wash your car and use the car wash high pressure washer to do it. Don't use any chemicals, just with the rinse water. And after you put your filter back together, you want to reseed it with beneficial bacteria. Now, as your filters get older and you clean them, you'll notice they kind of get smaller and smaller. And a lot of folks just throw them away and get a replacement. But what I would recommend is to keep that filter and just keep adding to it. My idea of a pond filter is to, darn near as many gallons as your pond. I like the idea of just taking the big filter roll. I used to cut them in half, stick them in a barrel. Obviously there's some fittings involved and, some plumbing, but that's my idea of a filter, 26 foot, about a foot deep. And that'll do a lot of filtering for you. So even if you have a filter that's very small, just, add to it, crunch it in there. The more filter, the better. Even going with, different grades of filter. So you go with the heavier filter with a more porous at first, and it kind of works its way down to the fine filter towards the end, where it's going back into your pond. And that way you get even a better job of filtering without it instantly clogging if you put in a real fine filter media. So anyway, don't forget to clean your filter and try to remember to do it in the fall, because then you can really get after it and not worry about killing the bacteria.